Hello and welcome to Virtual Service Catalog. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to use this feature to quickly view the virtual service environments or VSEs and all of the available virtual services that are deployed to those VSEs across your environment. And that means you can easily see whether there are existing services that you can reuse rather than having to create a new one. And you can also see whether those services are currently up or down. So to get started, I can launch Virtual Service Catalog from the desktop icon, or I can just open a browser and enter the URL directly. And the default URL is localhost 51110. It's also worth mentioning that your permissions are managed through Identity and Access Manager, which means that Identity and Access Manager must be up and running before you can log in. So from here, I just enter my username, my password, and click Login. And once you're logged in, the first thing that you will see is the Home tab. To view the available services, just click View All Virtual Services. And here you see a list of the available virtual services across your environment. And it's probably worth noting that Virtual Service Catalog generates this list by connecting to each enterprise dashboard in your environment, and then it looks at all of the virtual services that are deployed to a VSE. The connections to the enterprise dashboards are configured by an administrator. So if you're looking for services on a specific registry or VSE and you don't see it, you might need to reach out to your administrator to get it added. Now, it's very helpful to see all of the available services in one place, but the downside is that you might have a lot of information to sift through in this initial view. For example, if you scroll down, you can see that there are several pages of services listed here. So the first thing that I want to show you is how to navigate this tab to narrow your results and find exactly what you're looking for. First up, there's a Show Hide Columns icon up here that lets you hide any columns that aren't important to you. For example, I might not care about group tag or execution mode, and by hiding those columns, I free up a little more real estate for the things that I do care about. You can also click any column heading to sort your results by that column. Let's say you want to find a service with a specific data protocol. And now you can see that the sorting column is highlighted, and a little arrow by the column name shows whether it's an ascending or descending sort. So this is now sorted by data protocol in ascending order. And it looks a little weird here because the services without a protocol specified are showing up at the top. But if I click the column header again, I switch the sorting direction, and now you can see it's sorted in descending order. It's also worth noting that you are limited to a single column sort, so you can only sort by one column at a time. So the sorting is nice and it helps, but there's still a lot of services to scroll through. So to help you reduce the number of services that you have to look through, there's also a search. And you can enter a keyword in the search field of any column header and press enter to search for that keyword. For example, I can look for a service that's on a specific registry. So notice that I have services from at least 2 different registries listed here, but let's say I only care about services on one of those. I can enter that registry in the search field at the top of the column, and now you can see that my list of services are restricted to that one registry. And a really nice feature of the search is that unlike the sort, you can combine your keywords in multiple columns. So if I type car in the name column, the results show only those services with car in the name and that are in the specified registry. Now, if at any time you want to clear your search criteria, just click the X in the search field. Also, if for some reason you think that the data in this tab might be stale, you can manually refresh at any time by clicking the refresh icon. There is no automatic refresh in Virtual Service Catalog, so if you want to refresh the data, you have to click the refresh icon or close the tab and reopen it. Now, you might have noticed that most of the data in the operations path column appears to be truncated. If you have a service with multiple operations, this tends to happen, and typically you can't expand the column wide enough to see them all. But if you hover over the More, you can see a list of all the operations in a tooltip. Now, there's a lot of useful data in this tab to help you find an existing service, but it is still possible that you might not be able to tell whether a particular service will work for your needs. But you can also drill down into additional information for any service listed here. And to do that, you either click the link in the name column or in the operations path column. And that's going to open up a new tab that shows additional detail. And here you can see each of the operations in the service. And when you click an operation, The request and response data for that operation shows up in the specific section. If you have an operation with a request body, you can also see the raw request by clicking Show Raw Request. And the response data section is divided into two tabs. The Content tab shows the response content, and the Headers tab shows the response header. And that's really all there is to using Virtual Service Catalog. If you're an administrator and you need help with the installation or configuration of Virtual Service Catalog, you can find additional videos in the DevTest DocOps space. And to get there, just click the Help icon in the top right corner of the page. So that's about it. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for viewing it. And this concludes using Virtual Service Catalog. For more detailed information about this product, click the information bubble in the top right corner to go to the CA Service Virtualization product page, and from there you can access product documentation, support, or communities, and you can see the available learning paths.